Welcome to Balaya Math Lectures. Learn every step. Suppose if you are arranging some numbers in rows and columns, then it is called a matrix. Let me give you the example. Here I am taking the example 1, 2, 3, 1, minus 1, 1. This is a matrix. How can you say that it is a matrix? Because the numbers arranged in 2 rows and in 3 columns. This is represented the order of the matrix. That means the number of rows are 2 and the number of columns are 3. So that the order of this matrix is 2 by 3. Suppose we have a matrix considered m rows and n columns. Suppose if you have some rows, namely up to m, first row, second row, third row, up to m rows. Similarly, n columns, that means first column, second column, so on up to n columns. So this is represented in brackets, and the order of this matrix is m by n. m by n. That means the number of rows in this matrix is m and the number of columns in this matrix is n. So the matrix is usually denoted in brackets with numbers. And the elements of the matrix are denoted with small numbers. Usually you can denote it as Aij. Aij m by n. This represents an element is in ith row and jth column. Suppose a number is represented in this matrix as A11. That means I means 1, j means I value is taking as 1 and j value is taking as 1. So the element which is in first row and first column can be represented as A11, and I am taking this one as Aij. That means A11, A12, A13, so on up to A1n. Up to A1n. Similarly, A21, A22, so on, A21, A22, so on up to A2n. In the similar manner, AM1, AM2, so on up to AMN. So here the representation, I representation rows and J representation columns. So Aij with order m by n. So the elements are A11, A12, so on A1n, A21, A22, so on A2n, AM1, AM2, so on AMN. This is the representation of a matrix. Okay. Usually matrix is denoted with capital letters. So I am representing this one as A is equal to Aij m by n, and also the same thing as A is equal to A11, A12, so on up to like this. Okay. So usually the matrices are represented in capital letters. The elements in the matrix are represented in small letters. Let me start with the row matrix. How can you say that a matrix is a row matrix? Suppose a matrix contains only one row. A matrix contains, I am naming this one as A11, A12 up to A1n. How many columns are there? N columns, but you have only one row. That means the order of this matrix is 1 by n. This is known as row matrix or row vector. You can also call this one as row vector. There is some confusion. What is this? A11, A12. You can mark the numbers also. That means this one can be taken as 1, 2, minus 3 elements. That means the order of this one is 1 by 3. So this matrix is known as row matrix. Row matrix. Similarly, you can say column matrix also. If suppose there is a matrix, namely 1, minus 1, 1 in only one column, but rows are 3 rows. You have 3 rows and 1 column. So the representation is 3 by 1. So if you have a matrix B with order 3 by 1, that means this is having only one column, so that you can say that this is column matrix or column vector. Now coming to the definition of square matrix. How can you say that a matrix is a square matrix? the number of rows and the number of columns are equal for a matrix, then you can say that it is a square matrix. The number of rows and the number of columns are equal. If suppose I am giving you the definition, like I am giving you the example here. 1, 2, minus 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, minus 1, 2. What is the order of this one? 3 by 3. How many number of rows are there? 3 rows. And how many columns? 3 columns. Number of rows are 3, columns are also 3. So that you can say that this is a square matrix. And this one is rectangular matrix. This is the example. I am taking the name as B. B is equal to 1, 2, 3, 1 minus 1, 1, which is having order 2 by 3. That means the number of rows and columns are different. So that this is a rectangular matrix and this is a square matrix. Now you can notice that this is a diagonal. Usually the diagonal in the square, but there is one more diagonal, but we are considering for the matrices, this is the diagonal of the matrix. Okay, this is the diagonal of the matrix. These elements are called principal diagonal elements. So the principal diagonal elements of this matrix are 1, 1, 2. Now coming to the definition of a diagonal matrix. In a square matrix, except the diagonal, all the remaining elements are 0. Then you can say that it is a diagonal matrix. For example, I am giving you one example here. 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3. What is this? This is also a square matrix because the number of rows and columns are equal, but except the diagonal, the remaining elements are zeros. So that this is known as diagonal matrix. This is known as diagonal matrix, and this can be represented as diag 1, 2, 3. D-I-A-G. Diag 1, 2, 3. Simply you can represent this matrix as diag 1, 2, 3. If you write A is equal to diag 1, 2, 3, it means the matrix representation is like this. 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3.